hang out the whole next day, laughing, having fun. Summer love, you have no idea what you did to me. Summer love, didn't care that we weren't meant to be. You were mine, I was yours. Take me back once more. Summer love, where did you go? Summer love, you have no idea what you did to me. Summer love, didn't care that we weren't meant to be. You were mine, I was yours. Take me back once more. Summer love, sweet joy, where did you go? Remember the days we were young, wild and free.
What is up, and welcome back to episode 33 of Going Beyond the Castle. I am one of your fabulous hosts, Fred Briley, and with me, as always, is the fabulous Miss Ashley Rude and the podcast princess, Miss Lori Talamo.
I should wear my crown.
You please don't.
I'm wearing a crown next week.
I think you should.
Lord
You should wear them.
Oh, God, I'm quitting the podcast. Anyway, welcome back. We're super excited to have you guys join us this evening. Super excited to be back after a nice break last week. I think it just came down to it on Sunday, and between me traveling and, seeing family and friends, and Lori dealing with live stuff, and Ashley also traveling for work, it came down to it. We were like, we just got to nix this week. So sorry to all of you who were looking forward to last week's episode, but good news is we're doing it tonight. So, and I'm rocking my Disneyland 17th anniversary swag. So I am ready to talk all things Disneyland. So before we dive in, as always, I will turn it over to the fabulous ladies and we'll do some announcements.
Sweet. So just a few announcements for you. One thing that's exciting is that Disney Cruise Line has changed their deposit requirement. So
Thank
previously
God.
Previously it was 20% down. But now it's 10% down. So 10% down to book your cruise, and then you have certain time to pay it off. It just depends on your level. So good thing, reach out to Fred or I. We could get you on a Disney cruise with a lower deposit. Another
They
thing
need to
that's
lower
super
it more.
exciting. Yeah. Well. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was a $200 deposit like
Facts.
Disney World, but
Yeah.
That'd be
I
amazing.
get, yeah, I mean, I get why they do it. I guess it's more of a commitment. Then you'll stick to it when you have the higher deposits. But I don't know.
Yeah.
And another thing that's super exciting, and I'll get to try it out tomorrow Tuesday, because I'll be doing my dining for our client for the first time with the new reservation system. I did go in and just kind of look at it to see, and it's super cool because now you can filter by which park you're looking for reservations for. You have a broader time that you can pick dates. So I'm super excited to see.
Be
how it
prepared to
works.
call. I've heard some horror
Really?
stories. Yeah. And then
Um,
when a couple of travel agents called in, because they go in to make the dining reservations, and it only shows one day at a time, and so they end up having to call, and the dining reservation line is like, yeah, we're struggling with some glitches for the new update, so just be
It
ready
better not. I tested it today, and let me go through
all the way through.
of course, because I
Yeah.
don't have a reservation. But we'll see. So hopefully, but I'm excited about that because That's one thing, that's always a pain when
Yeah.
you're doing dining reservations. So I'm excited to see the changes and see how it works, if it works.
Yeah,
More to come.
Lori,
But
you'll have to give me your notes because I am actually doing it on Wednesday for auction.
Oh,
oh,
So
sweet.
60
yeah,
days.
that's the
Yes,
one.
that's exciting. Yeah, she's got a lot of big ones too. So we'll see how it works out. She picked one of my favorites, Via Napoli, so I was excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll see. But those are the only announcements that I had. So I'll let you take it away, Ashley.
Sounds good. We've been seeing. I don't know if any of you guys have seen any of the POVs, but Test Track is now in a preview mode for cast members. It opens to the public July 22nd. The videos I've seen are really cool. I
Yeah.
mean, some of the stuff has stayed the same, but some of it is like upgraded and pretty high tech. And I don't know. I'm really excited to see it.
I
Fun.
think
You'll get to.
I wish they would have done something a little bit different with the outside area. Like,
Yeah.
but I get it's hard. But I fully agree. It looks super cool. I'm excited to try it out whenever I go to Disney World again, which God knows when that will be. It's super sad.
I'll be interested to see if they do the virtual queue for it. I would assume they are, but
I don't know.
I haven't really heard
Yeah.
much about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then last thing is I guess it's a hard launch now. We're hard launching a news post on Fridays called Park Bench Banter. Every Friday you'll just kind of see what's the word I want here? Like a combination of all of the news from the week. Starting today, anything you didn't hear about, you'll hear about on Park Bench Banter on Friday.
Hey.
Sweet. Yeah, I think it'll be cool too, because that way we can get things out, in a blur where everybody can just kind of go and read it, and then we'll just hit some of the highlights
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
the episode.
For sure.
Yeah, fun
for sure.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. And so then another thing in which I changed the title on this one too. It's not really news, but it's fun things that we've seen or crazy things that we've seen. So I'm kind of changing it to Beyond the Comments. Because yeah, I thought it was cool. Ashley and I just voted on it because you were absent in that conversation.
I'm absent in 90% of our conversations because you do it while I'm sleeping.
That's because Ashley's up earlier than us, and I'm up early for work, so we're getting stuff done.
Y'all have fun with that.
Plus.
I'm gonna enjoy my
Yeah.
sleep.
Yes. Well, we were gonna call it comment section chronicles, but I'm like, sometimes it's not stuff we find in the comments. So anyway, one I thought was really interesting because we had just had a conversation about not taking leftovers home to the resort at restaurants. And so, because I'm like, who wants to take leftovers home and eat them later? However,
Fred.
yeah, Fred, I could see taking pizza home. And one of the things that I've seen recently all over was that Pizza Moon over at Epic Universe, you're not allowed to take the pizza out. And so when we went, there was 5 of us and we shared 3 pizzas and we had a good bit of pizza left, which none of us really thought about taking it home because we weren't going, back to the resort. But a lot of people were complaining that they were trying to go and get pizza and they couldn't bring the pizza out of the restaurant. Now it's reported that they have boxes. And so if you want to take your pizza, you can take a pizza. And there was a couple of folks in one of the travel agents groups that were like, at the end of the day, they just went and ordered a pizza and were able to take it back. So I thought that was cool. Now you can take pizza home from Epic.
Fred, now you can take some to go.
I will eat cold pizza. So I could see taking pizza back and just kind of eating a slice in the morning. I don't know. I still probably won't.
You've never had experience where you've eaten food and you're like, man, this is really good food, but I can't finish all of this food. And then you go later and you get hungry again. Man, I wish I could have some more of that food. And bam, you took it home and it's in your fridge / if you're at a value resort, the beverage cooler, and it's there ready for you to eat at midnight. And it's fabulous.
Well, one, I've never wanted to eat at midnight if I was back in the room because I was usually
That
sleeping.
no.
But we have taken some stuff back. Usually, like Josh says, when we're in a restaurant at home, let's take it back home So instead of them throwing it away, we can throw it away later because one of my children will take leftovers home and doesn't always eat them. So anyway, but yeah, you can take pizza home from Pizza Moon. I'm gonna do this one first and then I'll do the last one. So, okay, I just put a note in. What is the name of this park? Because I already forgot it. Where Cedars Point. Weren't we talking about that?
Okay,
with
first
the
of all,
mountain?
it's called Cedar Point.
Cedar Point.
Get it right.
No,
It's one of the
Cedar
best
Point.
non-Disney theme parks in the whole wide world.
It is
Okay,
pretty great.
so they have that crazy the
Top
Siren's
thrill
Curse.
trackster.
Did you see? So there was just a report that it was, you know how like it comes down,
It
it was
locked.
stuck. People were stuck on there.
Yeah, it happens all the
I would
time.
have died. I would have died.
No,
Like,
this is a different ride from Top Thrill Dragster, Fred. This
Oh,
is
what
like
are
a
we-
new ride. It's
Oh.
called Siren's Curse, and like
It's
you
the
get that,
same
like,
one,
window.
but they just redid it, right?
Is it? I don't know. But basically, like you get out and you stop, and then the tracks like lean in and like connect.
Oh no, that's
And
a
what
death ride.
happens
That is
is-
literally Final Destination waiting to happen.
Yeah. And like
so they
something
were like
in the
stuck.
yeah. Go ahead.
Mm-mm. No,
Yeah.
you know it better than me.
I
I've
would
never
still
seen
do it.
But never.
I would never do it.
I would
but I
do it.
guess like the computer locking mechanism, like
At least
Didn't-
we know it works.
yeah. Yeah.
All over
I
here
saw
complaining,
a-
like, would you rather it not lock and they just go straight off before it goes down? Like,
terrifying.
No.
it's a win-win here is what I see.
Yeah. Not
You have
having
fun
it.
with that.
Yeah. So the other thing I thought was funny, because a lot of times we always say when you see Facebook groups or whatever, don't believe half of the things that you see in there, because a lot of times the stuff is not true, or you have people complaining about things. And so there's a lot of times I'm scrolling through Facebook and I'll see something and I'm like, these people are nuts. And then I'll look and I'm like, oh, that's because I'm in rope drop humor. And so if you haven't, I think Ashley's in that group. I know, Fred, you said you don't get in a lot of groups because you have enough. So I don't think you're in it. But it's really fun. It's just, and I don't want to go into too much of the details because I don't really know exactly how it got started. I just kind of started reading into it. And I'm like, maybe one day we'll get Scott, who is the founder of the group, on the show and he can tell us, but it's a lot of off the wall stuff. And I just think it's really funny. So if you're looking for some humor or some things that sometimes I feel like it's, kind of making fun at other stuff that
Yeah.
people say or do. So
Yeah,
I just thought it was a
absolutely.
super cool little group. That's, I don't know, kind of goes along with this little section of funny things you see on Facebook. So that's my little plug for Rope Drop Humor. And that was it for the Beyond the Comments. I tried so hard to find
I'm proud of you. You did
a
super great.
sound clip. I wanted to get Buzz saying to infinity and beyond to play at that point, but I'm not that tech savvy. So I was like,
If you
never
would have
mind.
texted the guy
I
who
know.
runs all of our tech, he could have done it in 3 seconds.
I know, but we'll do maybe next time. I've been sick
I'll
all
have
week,
it done
so
for you next time.
sweet.
Wow, look at that teamwork.
I know, huh?
That was great.
She
That's what a
she
retreat
does what she
podcast
does. She
princess
just
does.
shows up.
Yes.
It asks for
That
things.
is not all that I do. I'm gonna kick you out. How do I kick you out of here?
You can't. I'm the admin.
Anyway, all
It's
right.
my
let's move on
show.
to the fabulous Disneyland trip that I'm still a little salty that I didn't get to go on.
Yeah, I
Well-
think we should preface with Lori and I have never been to Disneyland before, so
I know.
we were both just so jealous.
2026. It's happening. We're speaking it into existence now.
I'm down.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Let's go.
We need to get our Patreon up and running, so that way we
Yes.
can go.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's dive into this trip. Fred, give us the pre-trip details. How'd it come about? How'd you get there? When'd you go? How many days did you stay? So on and so forth.
So back in January, February timeframe, my agency manager reached out to the whole travel agency and pretty much said, "Hey, we've been invited to go on at Disneyland, what we call spiff. So in in the travel agent world, that's what we refer to as a self-paced familiarization trip. So it's essentially where we as travel agents go out and familiarize ourselves with the parks. We do it with Disney, we do it with Universal. From time to time, you'll see it with cruise lines, things like that, just to help us as travel agents better familiarize ourselves with the destinations that we're selling. So she reached out. She was like, "Hey, I got 10 spots," and I was like, "Oh, I wish I could go. Like, if I didn't already have a Disney World trip booked, I would totally sign up." Well, my agency manager actually misread that and signed me up. And I was like,
Oh.
"Oh crap! Let me talk to my wife first and make sure that this is okay." Um, which Rachel kept putting off. She was like, "Well, let's talk about it Saturday. Let's talk about it Saturday." And I was like, "Why can't we just talk about it now?" Come to find out, she was going to tell me that she was pregnant because I didn't know yet. And so she was like, "We need to figure all of this out with me being pregnant." So she was like, "I wanted to hold off to tell you that I was pregnant so we can make an educated decision." Um, so yeah, moving forward, Rachel was like, "Nope, that's totally fine. Like, definitely go enjoy Disneyland without us," which she's still super salty about.
Not bitter at all.
And so yeah, so we just the agency we started planning the trip. It was me, my agency manager, and 9 other people. One of which was thankfully a guy because initially I had booked off site and I wasn't looking forward to it. But then he was like, well, I'm going now, so let's book a room on site. And so I was like, well, where do you want to stay? And he was like, Grand California. And I was like, sold. So, um, so no, we stayed at Grand Californian. The original plan was to do 2 days. The first day really being a full agency, like we stayed together all day. And then the second day was going to be kind of do what you want, go where you want. And then I added on a third day so that I could really just kind of do my own thing. Um, so yeah, ended up doing, I'm going to say 2.5 days in the parks because it was also a travel day for me on the way back. And then also, while we were planning the trip, our agency manager was like, "Hey, are each of you willing to send me?" I think it was like $30, and we were like, "Sure, why?" And she was like, "Because I just booked as a VIP trip," and so we were all like super soaked. Had no idea, and so we got to do our first VIP tour. So, yeah, it was kind of a crazy ride getting up to Disneyland.
So you only had to pay $30 to participate in the VIP tour?
Yeah.
And
So
there
Wow.
were
our
how many of
agency,
you?
there were 10. So we covered the tip. I don't know what our agency manager did with the rest of it. I never asked
Yeah.
questions. I just know I
I wouldn't
contributed
either.
to I contributed to the tip. So
There you go. I'd have been the same way. Like, yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. No questions asked.
Nope.
So you flew in day one. What time did you get there?
So I had a direct flight here to LAX. Um I want to say I was on a plane at like 6 a.m., maybe even like 5:30 a.m. It was super early. And then I think I landed around like 8 or 8:30 LAX time and it was about
Mhm.
I want to say it was like a 4-hour nonstop flight. Um, there's a much closer airport, but it was way cheaper. I think I paid $90 for both flights there and back
Oh wow.
to go through LAX. So flew through LAX, got a rental car that sat in a parking lot, and I paid for 3 days for no reason. Didn't move the whole time, but it's what it was. It is what it was. Just because there was really no other way. It was either pay for a rental car or pay the same price for an Uber.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
Yeah.
it was probably a solid 40-minute drive from LAX down to Disneyland. So I got to the airport around like 8:30 in the morning. Obviously, I couldn't check in yet, so I picked up my rental car and I just drove around Los Angeles. I have never been further west than El Paso, Texas, when I was stationed there back in 2015. So to be able to say that I was finally in California, I was like, I'm gonna go see the Santa Monica Pier. I'm gonna go see this. I'm gonna do that. So I just really just drove around for a couple hours in Los Angeles until I was finally like, all right, I'm bored. I'm gonna go hang out at the hotel and get some breakfast. So made my way down to Disneyland, checked into the Grand Californian, which is for those that have never been to Disneyland but have been to Disney World, it is very much Wilderness Lodge vibe. Um, super like it was super rustic. I'm trying to pull up a picture. Dude,
Before you get to that, I have one question. Was traffic
sit-
absolute chaos?
I didn't hit any traffic, but I was also
Oh.
driving at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So
Oh, it was Sunday, yeah. Because
yeah,
you always hear the nightmare stories about traffic in LA.
yeah, I did not hit any traffic. So yeah, it was super rustic vibes. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was Star Wars time. Since we went on May 4th. I think we got there on May 5th. So it
That's
was like
right.
right after it. So they did have a giant cookie shaped Death Star in the lobby that's rotated. It was fabulous.
Interesting.
So, and then they had these fancy lightsabers that they were like easily like not the ones you build at Galaxy. That these were like $800, $900 lightsabers
Oh my
that they were
god.
handing out people to take photos with, and I was like, yes. So,
Wow.
it was super cool. It was a super nice lodge. Like, um, it took me a while to get into my room, but the room is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. We stayed in just your basic, you know, general room. We didn't get any fancy upgrades, but it was a super nice room. It was definitely one of the nicest resorts that I've stayed at. It felt much more bougier than Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom has like a nice, like family feel. This gave off
Mhm.
Grand Floridian, where I was like, I should not be in this place right now without khakis and
Right.
a dress shirt. Like, but it was a super nice room. We stayed right above downtown Disney, so we got to just sit down. Like we sat out on our patio and just looked at downtown Disney. So super nice. It's got all your basic amenities. There was nothing like I would say super fancy about the room. It was just a super nice room. So it was super cool. They did decide that since we were travel agents, because they knew we were travel agents, they were like, we're going to put you on the highest floor as far back as you could possibly walk. Like,
Oh god.
you could not have walked any further to a room than we did.
That's funny.
That's brutal
They
after
were
a
like,
long
It was-
let's
day.
keep these folks away.
It was
Yeah.
rough. So yeah, I really did enjoy the Grand Californian. I think I did it just because he asked. He was like, "Are you cool with doing Grand Californian?" I think next time I would be more likely to stay like Disneyland Hotel. That's
Yeah.
more up my alley, especially because a lot of the other agents stayed over at the Disneyland Hotel, and it really kind of gives that value feel, which is just that's where I stay comfortable at.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What else did you do on your check-in day besides checking in?
I ate some lunch or some breakfast. I had this meal possibly every single morning for breakfast. It was
So it
the
wasn't good.
it was
Yeah,
not
so
good.
it was terrible.
It wasn't good at all.
Mhm.
It was their brioche French toast. And
Oh.
Oh, yum.
oh my god, I'm telling you, I had it the very first day, and I was like, "This is what I'm having every day for breakfast." And I did. I had it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Um, there was not a lot of options, just because it was really either this or it was their they had I can't think of the name of it, but they have a character dining at the Grand Californian. I can't think of the name of it, and of course, it's booked unless you get dining reservations, all that stuff. I didn't get any of that, so this was their quick version of a quick service. It was kind of like they had a lot of really good options, like from your traditional American breakfast. They had this. Um, they had a bunch of snacks. It was really cool setup. It had pretty much everything that you needed. So, ate breakfast, hung out in the lobby, because my room took, like I said, my room took forever to be ready. Um, I eventually had to go pick up my roommate from the airport because I had the rental car. So went and picked him up, and then by the time it's literally as soon as I got bored, it was like, well, I guess I'm gonna go pick Eric up now. I walk out of the hotel and I get the text, your room's ready.
Of course.
Yeah.
I was like, you were literally sitting at that front desk waiting for me to walk out.
Yeah.
So went and picked him up, came back, and then after we got back, he's a big pin nerd, like huge pin nerd. I want to say he spent $800 on pins in the first 10 minutes in downtown Disney.
Oh my god.
Like he literally dropped his stuff and went to downtown Disney and dropped it like $800.
Oh,
Was
gosh.
there any good ones?
Like, oh yeah, he got a bunch of stuff. Like, and he's one of those people that like go to like pin training events. Like he's got pins that are worth hundreds of, like if not $1,000. Like he's all out pin trader. Like,
Wow.
and it was super cool. Like he really kind of got me into doing some pin stuff. Like, so I'm thankful I got to room with him, get to know him some more. Shout out to Eric. He's a super cool dude. So he went and did that. And then I actually met up for lunch with my agency manager and some of the other travel agencies. We went to, what was the name of it? It was the Black Tap Craft Burgers and Shakes. Really good burgers. I was wanting to go there anyway. I actually went there by myself, and Eric texted me. He was like, "Hey, everybody else is there," and I debated ignoring it, just sitting by myself. But I was like, "No, I'll go meet them."
I would have done that.
Lori, I may give off an extrovert vibe, but I'm totally an introvert, and I would have just.
Really?
Oh yeah, and if you're telling me I could just sit there and not do anything and not talk to anybody and just people watch, literally the best time I'll ever have.
I would not have guessed.
Yeah, I'm super introvert. So yeah, I got the black truffle burger. It was like a mushroom Swiss burger, super good. The fries were really good. If you're ever in downtown Disney area, strongly recommend it as a quick service option. A couple of the other agents actually they added a day on Sunday because they got there like Saturday night. So a lot of them kind of went off and did their own thing. I just walked around, took pictures of downtown Disney, and just kind of hung out. I sat and people watched for a hot minute. Like I literally just sat by myself in the middle of downtown Disney and just stared at people. It was fabulous. And then dinner was at a place called Centrico.
This was in downtown Disney as well.
It was. I did not pack appropriately for Disneyland. At Disney, California is not Orlando, or is not Florida, any way, shape, or form. It was so cold. Like, I'm super glad that I bought this. My initial plan was to show up with shorts and Hawaiian shirts. Like, I was fully prepared to sweat my butt off for the 3 days that I was there. And I got there, and I ended up wearing shorts and Spirit jerseys, and I was still cold. Like, it was like a solid 60 degrees every day. It was cloudy, which, looking back, it was perfect weather for going to Disneyland. Like, because Wednesday the sun finally came out, and I was like, "Oh, this sucks."
Yeah, it
But
gets cold there.
it does, especially in the
Like in
evenings.
the evening.
Which, that being said, Centrico, however you pronounce it, fabulous Mexican restaurant, absolutely fabulous. It's all outside. So if you don't dress appropriately,
You couldn't get
I was like, there's heaters, but they didn't help. But no, it's super fabulous. Super fabulous Mexican. I got the birria tacos. Absolutely fabulous.
Ooh.
If you know me, you know that I love birria. Absolutely
Those
amazing
don't even
tacos.
look like tacos.
They weren't,
know.
or no, I think it was a quesadilla.
Oh.
Did you eat it with a fork and knife?
It was a quesadilla.
Yeah.
It was a
wasn't like
quesadilla.
pickup.
It was a quesabirria.
Mm,
Ah,
yeah.
no.
It looks like
yeah.
it looks very messy, but it also looks like it would be absolutely delicious.
It was fabulous. It was gone in about
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Hmm
Isn't that
And
what you got when we went to eat the?
if there's
birria?
birria on the menu, I will eat it.
Hesperia will travel.
I wish I got a picture of it, but I got their mango Rita. Absolutely fabulous. They didn't mix it very well, and so the very first shot was just like straight tequila. And I was like, but it was really good. So they had a lot of really good options on the menu. It really was a super cool vibe to just kind of sit and hang out at. And then afterwards, I think we just went to bed because
Solid first day.
it took us forever to eat. Yeah, it was a really good first day, super chill. Just getting to walk around and explore the resort. I would, walk around exploring downtown Disney. It's nowhere near as big as Disney Springs. You could probably walk through all of downtown Disney in about 5 minutes. It is very, very, very much smaller, but they still have a lot of great stores. They still have a World of Disney. They still have a Pin Traders. They still have a Star Wars shop. Um, a lot of different restaurants, a Starbucks. So there's it's definitely a great place to hang out, but it's just nowhere near as massive as Disney Springs.
Yeah. And they have a monorail.
They do have a monorail, which I think I rode on the last day,
Mm.
just because the monorail was like really far away, and I just didn't want to walk.
Because y'all
No,
was so
no.
far back.
Yeah. So it's super cool. The monorail goes through the Grand Californian. You
Nice.
can't get on it, but you can, like, as you're kind of walking through, you can see it just passing through. It's super cool. So
Sweet. Sounds like a good check-in day.
it was solid check-in day.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So you want to move on to day 2, which
Sure.
was the VIP tour day, right?
It was. So
So
again,
did you
start
guys
what?
wait, go on.
I was just gonna say I started my day with a brioche French toast.
Fun.
So
It's something about French toast, pancakes, waffles. Like I feel like when you're on vacation, you have to eat that.
yes, the
Yes,
little cream
absolutely.
cheese topping, and then the blueberries. Oh
Yes. Like when
And
I'm
the
on
syrup.
vacation, I don't want to eat eggs. I want to eat
yeah,
something with maple syrup.
Mickey waffles, and yep,
Yes. Yes.
A
fun
breakfast
stuff.
sandwich every now and then.
Yeah. So did you park hop on your VIP tour? Or did you
we
just
did.
stay in one?
No,
So
every day was
Yep.
park hopping. It's so much easier
Okay.
to park hop at Disneyland because you literally have 50 feet between both entrances.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
So how did the day start off after you had breakfast? Like did
so
y'all
we
where did y'all
met.
meet up and get started?
So VIP tours always meet in the Grand Californian lobby because that's where the fabulous VIP merch is, and that's the time that you'll get to purchase your VIP merch. So there is like limits per item, obviously, because they don't want you buying 17 shirts and 20 lounge flies. But that's the time when you do it. So you typically want to get there beforehand, before your tour starts. Which there was 10 of us, so it took us forever um, to get all of our VIP merch figured out. And they have like a secret little mobile checkout that you have to use, and then they'll either deliver it to you right there, and then you can carry it around all day. They'll hold on to it, and you can pick it up at guest services, or they'll transport it to one of the lockers outside the park, so that way you can grab it after you finish your day. We chose to have it delivered to our room, and this is what I came back to.
Oh gosh.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh. Did Eric
amazing.
get the pins?
Which one is yours?
Yes. I think mine's like back over here.
Wow.
I got the lounge fly and the hat. So it was
And the
super
rest is
cool.
Eric.
The rest is everybody else's because everything just got.
Oh.
The plan was to have it delivered to guest services, just like a couple of us come to my room, but they said we're just gonna drop it all. So
I was
I
gonna
thought that was
say.
like all yours on your
no,
bed and all his on
that
his bed.
was
I was like,
that was
that's a
all
lot.
of ours. Um, so once we finally got that hashed out, because technically, like when your tour starts is when your tour starts. Like if you are still trying to figure out merchandise, and it takes you 30 minutes, and 20 of that is in your tour, that you're paying for it. So that's why they're like
Wow.
super like get there early. figure out what you want to buy and get it bought. But there was 10 of us, so our travel our VIP tour guide, James, who was the sweetest. I have lots of stories about James. I love James. Um, he was super great. He was like, I don't think he start. I think our tour was supposed to start at 9. I don't think he started it till like 9:45, 9:50, because we between trying to get all the VIP merch taken care of and then the introductions and getting through security, um, it took us a while. But that's pretty much how the day started. Is we meet up with our tour guide. They do have special first time pins for individuals. So you get a Disneyland VIP tour pin, which is one of my favorites. And then we also got VIP tour first time visit pins.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and then leading up to it, like whoever schedules the VIP tour actually like goes back and forth in emails with the VIP tour guide, like oversight person, trying to tell them what we want to do. So that way, when James meets up with us, he has an idea. But we just kind of told him like, we want to do the big things that are different because 99% of us had been to Disney World multiple times. We've rode all the rides. So we didn't necessarily want to do Tiana's or Rise of the Resistance. We wanted to hit some things that we wouldn't be able to hit at Disney World. So, and then once we kind of finished that, like talking and figuring out what we were going to do, we made our way over to the parks and we just started hitting things.
Sweet. Which park did y'all start in?
We started at Disneyland because, of course, that's where everything started. So you have to start at Disneyland. / the very first ride we went on, which was Indiana Jones. He was like, we have to hit this one first because it always breaks down and it could get super long. Literally, as soon as we got on and got off, the ride broke down.
Oh, wow.
No.
So we got on it just in time. But
I'm
like
going to take a note, so I'll make sure I put that in my planning guide for my clients. Stealing your tips.
We started the day off by just kind of checking out all the entrances. It was super cool to see, just Walt's original park. It truly was a wah moment when I saw this castle. I think all of us made fun of it because it is crazy how long it takes you to get down Main Street before you actually see it.
It's tiny.
Mhm.
It's so tiny. But we started the tour just kind of looking at like small, like he was super knowledgeable. Like I truly loved James, like especially picking his brain about all sorts of different things while we were walking, and just getting to have somebody that was so knowledgeable about Disneyland was just such a super cool experience. Like, and you got to point out like a lot of things, like Laura and I, we've talked about it many times, like the walk down Main Street that so many people don't pay attention to, like the window with Tony Baxter, who helped create Figment. Like there's like so many different like aspects. There's a window for Elias Disney. We spent a lot of time standing outside the fire department, which is where Walt used to work in whenever he was at Disneyland. I think Ashley, you posted a post about it, about the lamp always being on, so that way Walt, imagination and inspiration always shines to the people of Disneyland and the cast members. So it was super cool to get to see this and just kind of take a step back. Having gone to Disney World and always been a Disney World baby, and to get to see like where it really all started. So it was super cool to just kind of take a step back and experience like what started it all. But then it was just rides. Like after that, we were just hit ride. We knocked out 14 rides from about 10. Man, when did he leave us? I want to say he left us about 3. So maybe 5 hours or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we knocked out 14 rides. We knocked out what?
No, you go ahead.
We knocked out Indiana Jones, which is the exact replica of Dinosaur, except way better of a ride because Dinosaur sucks.
It's not.
Hot take.
Dinosaur sucks. We knocked out Indiana Jones. We knocked out Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion is one of my all-time favorite Disney rides.
So
Um,
good.
Disneyland's is way better.
Really?
Mhm.
Yes, because
Oh yeah.
the the stretch room is an actual elevator at Disneyland. So you could actually feel the room moving as you're lowered down because the actual queue is underground. So like it's super cool. And one of the things that I noticed uh, when I went to Disneyland versus when I went to Disney World is that the flashing scene at the top, it's just a little bit different at Disneyland. It's kind of less PG friendly, which I noticed
Yeah.
about a lot of things at Disneyland. They really kept that original like 1960s feel. So yeah, we rode Haunted Mansion. We rode Rise of the Resistance. We rode Big Thunder Mountain, and we rode Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which was mind blowing to me how that ride is still around. Like there's literally a whole section of the ride where you go into hell and they heat the room so it's hotter. Mind boggling to me. But rode Hyperspace Mountain. Hyperspace Mountain is really cool. It's very similar to Space Mountain, but it's actually not the same ride. And because it was Star Wars week, it was all Star Wars overlays. So um, it was just like Space Mountain, except there were TIE fighters and all sorts of stuff like fighting and
Oh,
shooting.
that's awesome.
It was so cool. Um,
Jealous.
so that's all we did at Disneyland. So we did all of that, and then we hopped over to um, Disney California Adventure, and we knocked out Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. That ride did it for me. I I thought I was gonna throw up.
Wait,
Um,
is that one like Tower of Terror?
except except Tower of Terror just goes woo woo woo. This one was like wow 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 wow. Like it just bounced, and so it was like the whole time I was like, like it was super cool. It really was. I missed the whole aspect of the scenes at Disney World where it like goes in through and rides, and you get to see all the um. Why am I drawing a blank of the Twilight Zone? Thank you.
Mhm.
All the Twilight Zone stuff. I missed that aspect of it, but it was still a super cool ride. The queue is super cool. There is actually a figment in the collector's queue, so that was super cool to get to see that. So yeah, Mission Breakout. We did Radiator Springs, which is the same exact ride as Test Track, but way better. I am way bigger of a fan of Radiator Springs. Such a great ride.
Makes sense.
Web Slingers. That's the one where you're like, you got on the 3D glasses and you're doing this. That was a super cool one. We did Soren, and then after he left, we also knocked out Pirates, and then I did Haunted Mansion again.
Was it Soarin' over California,
It was not.
or was it just regular Soarin'?
It was just regular Soren.
Gotcha.
So some of the ones that you have like that were at Disney World and Disneyland. Any like obviously you said Haunted Mansion was better.
Yeah,
Any others that you would
Haunted Mansion was better. Rise of the Resistance is the same. I haven't ridden Big Thunder Mountain in what feels like so long, so I really couldn't tell you if those are the same. But it's Big Thunder Mountain. I mean, there's not
Yeah.
much to change about it. Um,
Peter Pan?
Peter Pan was a little different. It was kind of more old school Peter Pan, but which that would make sense considering that was there before the Peter Pan that was built at Disney World.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge Peter Pan fan. Like I don't have to ride Peter Pan when I go to Disney World, so that was just kind of like a for me.
Extra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Soren was the same to me. Pirates was totally different. There's a clip out there somewhere. Well, I'll have to send it to you so you can post it. But I was live streaming on TikTok while we rode Pirates. Um, and nobody told me there was a second drop. And so
Yeah, I saw that somewhere. I don't remember where I saw it.
they're like, we're going on this ride and it drops. And then like we're all like, ah. But then we're talking, and then Eric's like, are you ready for the second drop? And I'm like, what second drop? And then it happens, and then you just hear me screaming. And it's pitch black, so you can't see anything.
Did you have your light on?
No. It's a different Pirates. Like, there's a whole bayou scene to it, which is actually where you eat dinner at the Blue Bayou. It's inside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. It doesn't have the smells, which it could just be the Florida water, but it doesn't have the smells that the Florida one has, which is one of my favorite aspects about the Pirates of the Caribbean. So I missed that aspect. And then there's just some small differences. Again, like there's two drops. There's like it ends differently. Like you kind of go into like this boat dock area to get off rather than how it is at Disney World. So it was different, but I'd still preferred the Disney World one over Disneyland. I think that was it.
Yeah. Did y'all do fireworks or any nighttime shows?
So there were no fireworks. But we did, because with VIP tours, you can request assistance with dining reservations and like any type of VIP seating. So we did I couldn't tell you what it was called. I felt it was the biggest waste of my time. But they had some like castle projection. I don't even know what happened. There's a TikTok video out there of me just bashing it the whole time it's on.
Okay.
So it was like 5-10 minutes, and I was like, okay, this is over. We can leave now.
So no tears were shed.
No, absolutely zero tears were shed. Which the same can't be said about the second night, but we'll get to that later. But no, so it just depends on what they don't do. It's not like Magic Kingdom where they do happily ever after with fireworks every night. It just kind of depends on what they have. Different shows that they do. Sometimes they do fireworks, sometimes they do this show, sometimes they do that show. But we did get VIP seating, which was super nice. We were right in front of the castle, and we had benches to sit in. It was super cool. So
Sweet.
Nice.
strongly don't recommend it. All right. I don't even remember what it was called. Like, I was super disappointed.
I gotcha. That's fair.
Yeah, no, I want to know. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. So I know you talked a little bit about, having the guide and how it was cool, for him to kind of give you some inside scoop. Was there anything particular that he said that was kind of like a standout moment or a secret thing that he shared, or was it just kind of general knowledge that's kind of out there?
It was like a solid month and a half ago, so I don't really remember. But I can tell you, like, I do really like. I don't remember a lot of what he said. But like, it's crazy how much knowledge those guys have. Like,
Yeah.
I will always recommend a VIP tour now that I've had one. Just getting to experience his knowledge and his love for Disney. Like, you talk about cast members loving their job. Like, this dude, I got this picture right here. He was the sweetest little dude ever. Him and his girlfriend actually met when they worked on Soarin' together. And now they're dating, and it's just, oh my God, he was. If I was gay and he was single, I would have snatched him up. I'm telling you, he was so cute. Like he was just, his name was James, and he was just the sweetest, like, happiest person I've ever met. Like, he was always willing to take care of us. That was all of our stuff. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, anytime that we wrote something, do what?
I said, and that's on Pride Month.
Yeah. He was super cool. Like, just, and I mean, I loved just getting to, walk down the street with him and just hear the knowledge that he had, and just getting some side conversations with him about how he fell in love with Disney and how he started working at Disney, and just hearing his experience, like it really was super cool just to get to experience and spend time with him. So that's all of us. Um, I was like one of our last photos together, so it was a super good time.
Fun.
Fred, you
Sounds
are
awesome.
cheesing the most. in this
I
photo.
try to cheese. I try to be the biggest cheese in all of the photos I possibly can.
I love
Like
it.
I was also in my prime. Like I've always wanted to go to Disney World. Like it was a dream come true. Like it was super cool. So
It's awesome. Nice.
Sweet. Anything else you want to share about VIP tour day? You want to move on to your next day?
I can talk food real quick because
Yeah.
I love food. We did not do lunch just because we wanted to keep going. Um, a couple months ago, we did a podcast episode with Lori's friend about Disneyland, and she mentioned the Disney churros. And when I tell you
Oh,
there
it's
is
as
no
good.
churro like a Disney churro, I'm telling you, like they are magical.
Oh,
Like
Yeah, she said that the one she doesn't even eat the ones at Disney World. She's like, she didn't say garbage, but basically
it's
that they're
trash.
not any good.
Everything
But
is trash compared to Disneyland churro.
but she's like the
Like
Disneyland
the
churros
am-
are.
the amount of churros that I ate during those 72 hours was not healthy.
I'm gonna have to let Stephanie know.
I mean, was anything healthy?
No.
Yeah.
Um I had a lot of churros. We did stop by the Mint Julep bar for lunch, and one of the super cool things about a VIP tour is um, they will tell you to help save time. They'll be like, "All right, everybody place a mobile order." So we all did, and he was like, "What's your mobile order numbers?" And he had some super fancy VIP phone that he would text our order numbers to, and that would put our order number in front of everybody else's. So it could have been like a 30-40 minute wait to pick up your mobile order. It took you 2 minutes.
Oh
Way to
Um,
wow.
go, James.
so this was the passion fruit mint julep. It was super good. We also all got Mickey beignets, and by all I mean all of them, because I'm from New Orleans and there's no beignets like New Orleans. So I was like, I'm good. I don't need to taste a Mickey beignet.
Didn't you have those today?
Do what?
Didn't you have menus today?
I did not. No,
Oh, you didn't go?
I did not go.
Oh, we didn't go either.
It's a long story. I'll tell you later. Um,
Okay,
it's actually not a long story, but I'll still tell you later. Um,
gotcha.
So yeah, passion fruit mint julep. It was super cool to go to the mint julep place. This was in the French Quarter area. Um, Absolutely fabulous drink. And then for dinner, we did the Blue Bayou, which, like I said, was
Nice.
inside Pirates of the Caribbean. The vibe really gave off a great New Orleans vibe. The food did not give off a New Orleans vibe at all.
Oh, isn't that it's terrible because anywhere you go that says it's New Orleans style food, it never really lives up to
Yeah,
it.
no, it. Well, and I was expecting I don't know. I was expecting to see like some clams. I was expecting to see some crawfish or like some crawfish etouffee. Like there were these different like Creole pasta. Like I was expecting to see these types of items. I think the only menu item that I saw that was the bread and butter, which I'll say was fabulous. But it's hard to mess up bread and butter. Um,
Those look like
those
cheese sticks.
They were butter, but yes. Those were the crab cakes. Super good crab cakes. Um, that was the only like southern thing I saw on the menu was
Is it
the chick.
gumbo?
Yeah, it was gumbo, which wasn't that great. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And
It's
then like they had prime rib, salmon. I think like a chicken dish, and I'm like, how is this by you eating?
yeah.
I was like, it was good. Um, it was good food. It's just the food did not match the vibe at all. To me, we also offended our waitress quite a bit, which was unintentional. Um, but when you get 10 travel agents in a room together who have never met, it tends to get a little bit crazy. I think that's everything. Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's it. So, and then, like I said, I had an excessive amount of churros.
Sweet. I just text Stephanie and told her that you agree and said the churros were amazing.
This
She gave
is
it a heart.
I'm gonna show you this before we move on. This is one of my favorite ride photos. Super great ride. James
Yeah.
wrote it with us. It was super fun. So, as you can tell by my face, I'm focusing on not vomiting.
James is just there to have a good time.
He was. It was good times. So that the tour guide, like, it's worth it for the rides because the amount of rides that you can get in a tour ride or a VIP tour is excessive. And then too, just to if you have a love for Disney, just to getting to share that with somebody else who also has such a passion for sharing Disney with others, super cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep looking down. I have my phone over here, so I'm getting lots of text messages from my daughter. She's spilling the tea on some things.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Do you want to air it all out
And-
live?
Please do.
Yeah.
Maybe on the next episode. We gotta see if it plays out.
Before we move on, I do, Fred, want to hit on making sure you tip your VIP tour guide.
Yes.
You kind of hit on it at the beginning, but I think it's really important to note again that those people dedicate their whole day to you, from
Yeah.
sun up to sundown. It sounds like James even skipped lunch for you guys. He gave you everything he had, and I don't know what they make, but also those tips are really important to them as well.
James was amazing. Like
Yeah.
and in addition, again, I don't know how our agency manager paid for it, but we didn't even, as the 10 of us, didn't even cover the whole tip. There was more to that tip than what we gave. So, like, people need to understand that you're paying Disney for the tour. You're not paying.
Yeah.
You're not paying him. So,
Exactly.
like, one, VIP tours are expensive, and a long time ago, a good friend taught me that if you can't afford to go out to eat and tip somebody, don't go out to eat. It's the same thing
Right.
for a VIP tour. If you can't afford to tip your
Yeah.
tour guide, don't take a tour.
Right.
Take there's a lot of other tours that you can take that are way cheaper. Um,
Yeah.
definitely don't take a VIP tour guide if you're not willing to cash out a couple $100 in a tip because that again, I like Ashley said, I don't know what their standard pay is. Um, but he probably got like $700-800 in a tip that day. So,
Nice.
but it was worth it. Like the service that he provided us was amazing. And if I go back to Disneyland and ever do a VIP tour, I will ask for James. He was amazing.
Have
So
to keep that name. We'll have
Yeah.
to keep that name for next year when we
his
go.
his
We'll do
girlfriend is
our-
also now a VIP tour guide. So I want to figure out how can I get them both together and make this happen.
Fine.
We'll double the tip if we have to.
Yes, I will.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right. Are we ready to move on to
Let's.
technically day 3?
Day 3.5.
Yeah. What'd you do day 3? Did you have a strategy? Did you use lightning lane? Let's start there.
So one of the great things that I loved about my trip to Disneyland is that I didn't have to do anything but show up and ride the rides. The other agents were way more motivated to take care of the lightning. So I was like, oh, got it. And they handled it really well. One of the Disneyland is different from Disney World in that Disney World, you can book your lightning lanes. You can pre-select 3 of your lightning lanes. 7 days out if you're staying on a resort and 3 days out if you're staying off property. For Disneyland, you do it like the old days were when the park opens at 7 a.m. So that's it caused them to spend a lot of times on their phone looking at stuff. So it was definitely different to go back to. But we park hopped again. We actually started at Disney California Adventure, went over to Disneyland, and then went back to Disney California Adventure to finish out the day. Um, we definitely did use Lightning Lane on just about everything. We rope dropped Disney California Adventure and hit Radiator Springs again, because again, it's just such a great ride. Again, it is the exact same vehicles as Test Track. Again, you comment on my cheesing every single
Living the
time.
dream,
I will do
baby.
it. It's the same exact ride vehicles as Test Track. Almost the same exact layout of the ride. It was such a super cool ride. Loved it, especially, they do a really good job when you first get on the ride of kind of it's just a nice gentle cruise and you go out and you see everything and the waterfall and it's just super cool. Absolutely loved the ride. It shut down right after we rode it because it started to rain a little bit. So yeah, we roped dropped that. Where are my notes? Here's my notes. And then after that, we went over and did Guardians. I sat out for Guardians. I was like, yesterday was a little bit too much for me, so I was like, I'm just gonna sit this one out because it's 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm not trying to vomit today. So we sat that one out while they went and did Guardians, and then while they did that, I spent some time in Avengers Campus, which is really one things I've always wanted to see is Avengers Campus, just because I'm a huge Marvel fan, and it's just so crazy how much Marvel stuff they have over there. Um, they Spider Man was out, Captain America's out, um, Black Panther was out, Doctor Strange was out. They had so many Marvel characters out. Like it was just super cool. Which we'll get in. That's pretty much how I spent Wednesday, but we'll get into that later. So spend some time over there. Um, we did have breakfast over there. We went to Pim's Test Kitchen.
Nice.
One of my favorite spots. Like I'll definitely go back there and eat. Pretty much everything is extra large. Because it's Ant-Man. As you can see right there in the middle is the fork.
That's cool.
Not
This is
edible.
this is my fork. I kept it.
Nice.
So it was super cool. Like, absolutely loved getting to eat there. The French toast was absolutely fabulous. Also, shout out to Celsius. If they want to sponsor us, they're more than welcome to. I will gladly
Yes.
try all flavors of the Celsius and talk about them on this podcast. No,
Stretch your
breakfast.
vibe is the best.
Yeah.
Is that like a blueberry?
It was like a blueberry
maple?
syrup. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, this was an amazing breakfast. Again, I did have French toast every single day. I told you I did. And then we just kind of spent the day kind of hopping back and forth. We knocked out Web Slingers again, which was it's such a super cool ride. Great technology that they have. We did the Little Mermaid. We did Incredicoaster. Also, one of those ones that my body did not agree with. Again, as you can tell, I'm taking deep breaths, trying not to vomit for some reason. So,
How was that one? Like, what is there anything that you can compare it to? Or
people
no?
were trying to say it was as bad as like Spaceship Earth. It wasn't a bad ride. Like, I thought it was your normal, typical roller coaster. There was nothing crazy about it. It had all of one loop. I don't think there was anything crazy. It was a good ride, super cool. A little outdated, but it was a great ride. So, I did that. We hung out in San Fran, Tokyo for quite a bit. Found out that there is a bakery in, I don't know where the picture is, but there's a bakery in San Fran, Tokyo. This is Pixar Pier. There's the Wheel of Death in the background, which I did not ride.
My next question.
It was literally traumatizing just sitting there watching as like the roll as it spun, and then all of a sudden your car just goes whoop, and it's like nope.
No, thank you.
Um,
Mm-mm.
So hung out in Pixar Pier for quite a bit. Hung out in San Fran, Tokyo. There's actually a little place right here called Ant Cast Cafe. Um, they make Mickey and Baymax bread that you can sourdough bread that you can take home. I did buy
Nice.
both of them. They did not make it home in one piece, nor did they
Yeah.
last long once they made it home.
Of course. Of course.
So that was super cool. So we hung out. I actually got to experience the Disney Vacation Club lounge for a little bit as well, just because there were a couple DVC members on the trip with us. Um, got a cool little DVC. Um, I don't know what you call that cup, which was super cool. So nobody tried to convince me to drop thousands of dollars on a DVC membership, which I was thankful for because I don't know if I could have said no. Experienced that for a little bit. We did the Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is much bigger and like more intense. Like it's in this massive theater. Like it's just I feel like they go way more intense with their Little Mermaid.
Oh.
Um we did dinner at Lamplight Lounge, which
Mm-hmm.
was super cool because it was on Pixar Pier. Got to hang out there and have dinner there. We sat outside, and of course it was cold, but we had a nice fireplace. Um, so um, I think it was like a peach beer, super good. And then this was the burger and fries I had. It was absolutely fabulous of a burger. It was just their typical classical American cheeseburger, but it was super good. I did not realize how big it was going to be when I said I would like to add a patty, please. I regretted that decision, but it was worth it.
It looks
Uh,
so good.
Looks good.
it was amazing. And then yeah, we pretty much just hung out there, did Toy Story Mania. We did Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. I'm trying to think of what to relate it to. Oh, Monsters Inc. is kind of
Isn't it like a Winnie the Pooh kind
yeah,
of thing almost?
yeah. It's very similar to Winnie the Pooh, which is going away. So as we
Mhm.
discussed previously, so um, that was super cute to see. They have at the end. What's the monster's name who always picks on Mike Wazowski? His in the
Randall.
Fries.
Roz.
The
They have a Roz at the
Roz.
end, and she just makes fun of people in your car while you wait to get off.
Oh,
That's
It was super
amazing.
funny. I did Finding Nemo submarine voyage, which I've always wanted to do. Always seemed like the coolest thing ever. It was about as no, yeah, it was great. Um, I
but you can say you did it.
kids would love it. Like it was a pretty cool experience. Like it is underwater. Um, but I definitely prefer Disney World's version of Finding Nemo. Um, just because like this whole time I was sitting there looking at a window like this, like cramped in a submarine with a whole bunch of other people who'd been walking around parks all day and smelled bad.
Oh
So
no.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's fun times.
No thanks.
Um, so yeah, we didn't do a lot. We took that second day again. We knocked out so much in the first day that we didn't have to stress about. Well, it's the second day. We leave tomorrow. We got to do this. We already did everything that we wanted to do on the very first day. So the second day was kind of just like to get to explore, take some pictures, grab some content, um, and really just hang out. We did do the World of Color dessert party, which was totally worth it. Um,
I do have a question.
Send it.
Your I noticed your hats and your ears. Now, do you have like the clip-on ears?
Yeah, they're magnetic.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
been thinking about getting those. Where did you get them?
parkears.com, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah, super great. Like the only time like they were on through rides, like they're super strong magnets. They were absolutely fabulous. They have all different types. You can get Stitch, you can get Mickey, you can get Pluto. You can get all different types of ears. The only time that it came off accidentally was when it got caught on my backpack as I was trying to pull it off, and I literally had to rip it off. But they were
Gotcha.
again super cute. Love them. Um, so I bought them for all of. We had a church family go, and I bought them for all of their guys. So
Nice.
Speaking
absolutely great.
of, I have some of them that were returned today
Why were they
to give
returned?
back to you.
I don't want them
Because they,
back.
well, I told them, I was like, oh, they can keep them for a souvenir. And they're like, well, they're not going to wear them. So we didn't know if y'all would maybe want to use them.
I don't want them back.
You
Send
have
them to
my address.
Ashley.
Oh,
Mail them to
yeah.
Ashley.
I'll mail them to you.
Love
There.
that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think
There's
I think
like
I,
there's 5 boys. Like there's
yeah.
there's like 5 of them. So I don't
Well,
want them back.
I
It
think
was a
she said they
gift to
only,
them. I hope
I
they're
know, that's
listening
what I
and feel
told
bad
them.
now.
I guess I think her thoughts were that since they're not going to go back and wear them, that you could get use of them or give them to
Mm.
someone else that could use them.
She thinks they're not going to go back.
Yeah.
They're not going
Right. You
back.
never know.
They're not
They're
going
going
back.
back.
They're not going back.
Wow.
Yeah.
9 people.
It's a family of 9.
It's a
Yep.
family of 9. They're not going back to Disney.
We were at the zoo
Yeah.
with families of like more than 6, and we were like, why do people do this? I
Mhm.
can't imagine. Anyways,
They have those kids are amazing though. I love them.
They are.
My favorite.
Shout out to the Dixon clan.
Yes.
before you get too far into World of Color, with everything you learned on the VIP tour, did you go into these following days with a little more appreciation for what you were experiencing or seeing or anything like that?
Yeah, like I think again it just kind of all goes back to like the very first thing that we started with was, looking at the firehouse where Walt used to do all of his work and just kind of oversee things. It really kind of felt that way more at Disneyland because that's the park that Walt oversaw, and just seeing, just walking around on Tuesday and Wednesday, like, and just seeing the little things that, Walt created and established throughout the park that are still there to this day, was just super cool. And just, it did give this like a nostalgic vibe, like, which was super cool.
Yeah, it feels like it would be like added value to your
Yeah, it
experience,
was
just
like,
knowing those things.
yeah, it was different. Like, and I mean, like I said, James gave so much knowledge and so much tips. Like I can't remember all of it, but just like walking through the queues, like he would talk about how like long the queues are and like tips and tricks for the queues. Like he knew we were travel agents, so like he helped give us tips and tricks that we can hand off to our clients to make their trips better.
Nice,
Sweet.
very nice. In the interest of time, I know you wanted to hit World of Color, so let's hit that, and then we can move on to your next.
It is super late. World of Color was super cool. We did pay for the dessert party. The dessert party was absolutely fabulous because we had our own table. This was our view, and it was very much Rivers of Light at Animal Kingdom back when they had it. It was all water projections. I mean, that's pretty much all it was just water projections, which they're now doing something different for the 70th anniversary. But most of us cried because like it was just like Happily Ever After, but with water. Oh man, the feelings, the music, like they just brought back some old classics. It's really great because you get to your seat like 30 minutes or so before the show starts. And so this is automatically sitting at your seat for you.
Yum.
The Lori's favorite macaroon was absolutely fabulous. The Rice Krispie treat was great. Like all the dessert side was super great. They have different. You have to ask, but you pretty much get unlimited sodas, teas, and water while you're there. You have a waiter that waits on you, and then they also have specialty alcoholic drinks. They had like I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a fiery margarita or something like that. Absolutely fabulous. The the waiters and waitresses were like super friendly, taking pictures of us, joking around with us, having a good time. So it was super cool to do that right before the show. And then, like I said, World of Color is absolutely a fabulous show. It starts off talking about Walt Disney and just the imagination and the dream that he had for Disney. And then it just goes into like everything that Disney created from the parks to the movies and the shows. And it just, it hit the feelings. Like, most of us cried. And by most of us, I mean I was the only guy and the other females cried. The other guy that watched did not cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So yeah, definitely recommend World of Color. It's over at Disney California Adventure. And again, recommend it if you can get the dessert party. I think tickets were only like 65, $70. So for the dessert tray and then all you can drinks and the seating, like I think it's totally worth it because they do run out. Like so for their Phantasmic and I think World of Color, they have a virtual queue that runs each day, and once they run out, that's it. Like you don't get to watch it.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
I definitely recommend it because it's guaranteed seating, um, and you get some great dessert with it. So
Was it unlimited dessert or was that dessert it? Like once you got your plate of desserts?
to be honest, for some reason, I was wiped out at this point. I don't
So
know.
like one and done.
Yeah, I had one. I didn't even finish the dessert tray. Like
It's
I
a
don't know what
lot.
it was.
I
It was
think I
probably all
watched
the churros. But I didn't even finish the dessert tray. But we did get the multiple drinks. Like I had a Sprite, I had an alcoholic beverage, and I had a non-alcoholic beverage, and I had hot cocoa. Like all of that was just wait. And I couldn't finish it all because they just kept bringing it. I was like,
Oh wow.
so they were like, "Would you like some hot cocoa?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna say no." And then they would like, "Would you like this?" Yeah, yeah. So
Just bring it.
just set it down. Don't even ask anymore. Just set it on the table. So yeah, it was super cool. Definitely recommend World of Color. There's a lot of hate I feel like towards it because it's not the greatest dessert tray. Uh, but I mean I have low standards, so except for dinosaur, that sucks.
Way to bring it back around.
Yeah. He has some strong feelings on dinosaur.
I will say I got to walk out so we can move on quickly. They are way more strict at Disneyland about getting you out of the parks, especially once it's time to close. They're like, keep walking, and I was like, can I take a photo? They were like, really quickly. I was like, they were like, we're trying to go home. So it was super cool to get a walk through at night
that's
and
awesome.
just take different photos. So it was not full 70th anniversary swing yet. 70th anniversary started a couple days after we left, but we were thankful to get to see some of the decorations and get some merch. So yeah, fun times.
Sweet.
Nice. All right. Let's move on to
Sorry,
last
I'm-
day. You're okay.
We're still talking about the tea. So.
The tea. The tea is hot and not the tea you're drinking.
Ah, right. She just got home from cheer camp from all weekend, so it's we're like catching up on stuff.
These are the moments that I
Um,
look forward to one day when my kids are like 16, 15, and
Yeah.
I get to hear all the gossip. And I'm just going to go post
Yeah.
all videos on TikTok and talk about it.
Yeah.
This one's fun, what she's saying. So anyway, I don't want to jinx it or talk about it because it's not even really real yet, but we'll see.
So much vagueness.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air. Okay, so last day was half day, you said, and travel day. So
Yep.
other than starting your day with French toast, take us through your day before you headed back to the airport.
So my last day, I really just wanted to focus on photos with characters. There were a lot of characters that you don't get to see at Disney World that are at Disneyland. So really just wanted to take advantage of that, take advantage of the photo pass. I started my day late because I was absolutely exhausted. I don't think I started it until like maybe 10 o'clock. And then I started over at Disney California Adventure. And I mean, I just took my time taking photos. Let's see. I took
You got
pictures.
some good ones.
I did get some really good ones. Took pictures with Iron Man. That one was super cool. To get to
Nice.
take a picture with him. Took a picture with Spider Man. That one was super cool. Like it just the personality and just the way that he talked and interacted really gave off, you know, I can't think of the kid's name, but the recent
Tom Holland.
series. Thank you, Tom Holland. He really gave off Tom Holland vibes, and it was super cool. Love taking a picture with him. That was possibly one of my favorites. Uh, Took a picture with Black Panther. Um, that one was a fun one. I think that was all that I did over there. I did take a picture with the Red Guardian. This was one of my favorite experiences. Uh, but it wasn't till afterwards that it became my favorite experience because I had no idea really who he was as a character because I hadn't seen the movie yet. Um, but I knew I wanted to take a picture with him because I was never going to get to see it again. And after I went and saw the movie, I was like, this dude is spot on the character. Like, I'm gonna play his video. This is one of my favorite videos.
Cute.
That's
It
awesome.
was
Yeah.
it was like he really did have the personality of the character, like
Was
in the
funny because
movies
I didn't want y'all to blast me like y'all do sometimes.
all the
But I was
time.
gonna be like, I don't even know who that is. So I'm glad you said you didn't know who it was either.
I knew who he
I hadn't
was,
seen it yet.
but I didn't know his character because he really just got introduced as the Red Guardian in the previous movie that just came out. We've
Mhm.
seen him before in older movies, really only one, but we didn't know him as the Red Guardian. So
Mhm.
again, it was super cool to meet him and then go see the movie and then connect it and be like, that's cool.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
haven't
that's
watched
awesome.
the new movie yet.
Um,
We're slackers.
you are. I got a picture with Mickey Mouse. It was super awkward. The most awkward character interaction I've ever gone for because I went for a hug, Mickey went for a handshake. I switched it up to go for a handshake. Mickey went for a hug, and then we just went back and forth. And eventually, I just awkwardly pulled him in and I was like, "This is awkward."
That's great.
It was so awkward. Worst experience of my life. Got a picture with Pluto. That was a fun one. Um,
Cute.
One of the things I really did love about Disneyland is you just have a lot more characters that are just out meeting. Um, like they're literally just walking. Um, this was one of my
Oh,
favorite
that's a
parts.
cool
They
picture.
that is the photo pass photographer there was like, "You want to do a photo session with your new shirt?" I was like, "Yes." Um, and what was really awkward is she was like, "Turn around so I can take your picture." And so I turn around and I go, "Wait, why am I smiling? I'm not looking at the camera." It took me a second. I was just staring. I was just staring at the sign. But she was super cool. Love this shirt. This is my new favorite Spirit jersey. But no, like, I went over to Toontown. Um, and like you'll just see Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Goofy. They're literally just walking around interacting with people. It's not like Disney World where you see them walking and they're walking to get somewhere. Like at
Yeah.
Disneyland, they're just walking to walk, like to interact with people. And they stop and they take pictures with people. And so that was super cool, just to get to see and to experience that. I did have lunch over at uh, Auntie Anne's, whatever it was called. This was the mac and cheese sourdough bowl, absolutely fabulous. And then this was the Baymax bread that I bought. It was super cute. So,
Nice.
yeah, I mean that's really all I did on Wednesdays. I was by myself. Everybody had left. I just walked around the parks and took pictures and ate some food. I ate some more churros. Um, I ordered one. They gave me two. I walked away. It was a win. Um, it was a good time. So I did get in ride. I did get in line for one ride, Roger Rabbit, because I was like, I'm never gonna get the chance to ride Roger Rabbit again. And it broke down, and I just left. Like I'm not waiting in line.
Bummer.
So the one ride I tried to ride broke down. So um, yeah, it was super cool. And then after that, got my rental car and drove back to the airport. So
Sweet. So to wrap up your report, what do you think was what's your favorite moment of your trip?
I would
Or too
say
many?
I I would like all of the one-on-one time I got with James. Like the man truly had a passion for Disney. He had a knowledge for Disney. Like just getting to the amount of pictures that are out there of me walking next to him, talking to him. Like I stole him from every other travel agent. Like, sorry, I wanted to talk to him. Um, I just loved the conversations that we got to have with him. Uh, him giving us his backstory, the backstory of Disneyland, his experience working at Disneyland, like all of that combined in was just my favorite part. Was just getting to spend time and talk with James.
Sweet. Sounds like you had a great trip.
It was my only thing. The only thing I don't like about Disneyland is one, the magic bands. They don't rely on magic bands at all. Um, the only thing you can really use your magic band for is to put your ticket on to get in the park. You don't use it for your room. You don't use it to pay for stuff with. You don't use it for photo pass. Like everything is done on your phone, so it's different. I mean, um, you can link it to your ticket and do it that way, but so many people just use their phone because they're not magic band heavy over there.
Yeah.
And then
Gotcha.
two was the photo pass, like on the rides. Like it's not like Disney World again where you can go up and scan your magic band and it pulls it. Like you have to take a picture old school. It's got a code and you have to take a picture of the code and then you have to type that code into the app to get your photo pass on rides. So I feel like
I don't.
technologically, I feel like Disneyland has some work to do. Um,
Yeah.
I also feel like the app wasn't as easy to use as Disney World. Um, so technology wise, I feel like they have some catching up to do. But other than that, like it was an amazing trip. I can't wait to go back
Yeah.
together next year, the three of
The
us.
three of us.
Yep.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah. My travel agent besties and I, we were just talking about that either yesterday, or today. How it's crazy how Disneyland and Disney World are so different.
It's
Like the way
drastically
you plan
different.
it when you're there, it's wild that it just wouldn't be the same across the board.
Yeah. It's it's interesting. Like you said, you have two different planning strategies when you're going to the different parks. So you
Yeah.
really got to know those, and that's why I'm like super thankful saying like I've gone now. Is like I've experienced those strategies. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
For sure.
Fun
For sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
fun
That
times.
does it.
Fun
Yeah.
times.
All right, so next week, what are we talking about? I don't know. You guys have been playing and stuff.
Well, if we're gonna go with what was supposed to be next week, since we skipped a week, it's gonna be on the where's my episode list?
Isn't it
Um,
the theme park entertainment?
Fireworks and Nighttime Magic.
Yeah.
The best shows in the
Oh,
parks. Yes.
You claimed happily ever after before I could even get to it.
You're welcome. The one
Look,
time I
that was the
paid,
one time.
you can guarantee if
one
happily
time.
ever after pops up on my phone, I'm paying attention.
Makes me feel like maybe he's listening or watching, but just
Oh,
doesn't
I screen
respond
your text
sometimes.
message. I screen your
It's-
text
it's
It's like
messages.
selective hearing.
Because I was like, you guys can rock, paper, scissors because I know you both love
No,
it.
I called
And
dibs.
he
That's
was
how it
like,
works.
Dibs.
I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, I was mowing the yard, and I checked it, and I was like, oh.
I
had to
can't
mow the
wait.
yard. That's all right. I love
Yeah,
my
I'm a little salty that Animal Kingdom doesn't have nighttime stuff because
I am
that would
too.
be the
Rivers
one I
of
would wanna
Light
pick.
really was. Great
Yeah.
That
show.
was great.
But it's okay. But we'll, in honor of the 4th of July and fireworks, I thought it'd be neat to just kind of go through and we can talk about the different nighttime shows.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be a good episode. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yep.
Promise
That's
not to
it.
cry when I talk about happily ever after.
You do. If you do, it's okay.
That's
It's
fair.
all right.
You and Ashley can cry. And I'll just make fun of y'all.
That's fair.
It's fine. Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'm like, am I really a diehard fan? Because I don't cry at Happily Ever After, and I don't have a collection of things. Like,
Mm.
I feel
Me
like you
either.
guys are like all in. And
Yeah,
I mean, I
same.
have the ears behind me, but I don't really consider that a collection. But maybe it
I don't-
is. I don't know.
I don't have 7 more popcorn buckets over there.
Right. Y'all do the popcorn buckets, the lounge flies, the Funko Pops. I don't know.
Tiki mugs.
Think of it as saving money, Lori.
Well, that's what I'm like. I'd rather just spend money on the trips and not buy the things. But
See, it's
I
a
don't
problem
know.
when you do both.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Olivia has a collection. She gets a stuffed animal every time we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
I'm going to go to Universal and get her a shark.
I know.
I
Well, she
love
saw
that
my
idea.
comment when I told you I wish it was still there so I could take. I'm pointing at you like, oh, you're sitting there. That I would take her on it, and she commented like, absolutely not. We're going to the beach Thursday, and there have been reports about sharks in Pensacola Beach, and she's like, I'm not going to get in the water. Like, I don't know. I need to stop talking because I'm.
I like it. All right, fun times.
Anyway, fun times.
All right, I'll close this out.
Time to
We'll
call it a
wrap
night.
it up. Next week, Ashley's closing out, so she has to do her practice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you guys tuning in every week. It is a blessing to get to do what we do every single week with you guys. So definitely make sure that you are.
Did I muted myself?
Lori, you haven't muted yourself this whole podcast.
It's not muting?
No.
Why didn't y'all say something?
We just roll with it.
I am muting on there. I don't know why it's not muting.
That's
You
awesome.
know what? It's
well.
all right.
As I was
Wait
saying
until the
before.
end.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. Definitely, we would love to reach more people. We'd love to get to meet other individuals who have passions like ours for Disney, Universal, and all things travel. So definitely share our stuff. Please like and follow us on all of our social media platforms. That way we can reach more people. Best way to find all of our social media is on our Beacons channel, beacons.ai/going beyond the castle. There you can find all of our social media channels as well as quick links to listen to the podcast each and every week. We also do have a website if you're looking for a little bit more in-depth stuff for the podcast. Everything that we do is on that website. It is going through some updates right now as we have added Ashley on, as we've got new logos. So definitely just ignore the things that you don't see and just look at the things that you do see. That is www.goingbeyondthecastle.com. And then, of course, we do have an email if you want to reach out to us and connect with us, whether it be to talk about an episode or to talk about possibly booking a trip with Lori or myself. Definitely reach out to us at info@goingbeyondthecastle.com. With that being said, again, thanks for tuning in. Love getting to talk Disney with you guys. And I'm super excited to cry while we talk about Happily Ever After next week.
Absolutely.
Anything before we wrap it up?
Lori, now you're muted.
Now you're muted.
Now you figured it out.
I didn't mute it. Did y'all must have muted me.
No, we didn't.
Well, that's weird because I just realized that my microphone has not been connected this whole time. It's been my camera.
That's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
So sweet. Fun time. I told y'all I was
This is
having
what-
technical
this is-
difficulties before we started. Don't say anything about me.
I wasn't gonna
If
call you a
you-
boomer at all.
And yeah, I wasn't.
Actually,
I
I'm
was
not
thinking-
a boomer.
Eh.
I'm not that old.
Anyway, have a great week.
Bye.